Hi, everyone. Thank you. Yes, so my name is Carl Anderson. I'm part of Ledger. I run software out of there. And we're going to talk security. I don't know if you listened to the first panel right before us, but all of them actually raised their hand on like who got scammed, and we need to change this in the ecosystem. Quick question: who has a Ledger in the room? All right, I'd say about half. So cool. For those of you that don't have a Ledger yet, Ledger is a hardware device that protects your private keys and make sure that you don't lose your crypto. And that's going to be the whole purpose of my talk, is how to make sure that you don't lose your crypto. And what we're seeing more and more in the space is those kind of phishing attacks, where scammers are going to hide in the complexity of a big hash, an hexadecimal string like this. Like you have no idea what it is. They get you sign it, and then that's how you're going to lose your crypto. They're going to drain your wallet because you can't know what's behind this. And this is what we call blind signing. And in fact, this is literally how Bybit, if you remember in February, the SafeUI was hacked, and then Bybit, the exchange, lost $1.4 billion on such a hack. What happened is that the genuine transaction was swapped right before the signing. It was a big blob. They didn't know what they were signing, and then that's how they lost $1.4 billion. And this is what clear signing fixes, is what we want to is make those big hexadecimals a thing of the past and replace that with understandable and readable information. So this is what clear signing looks like. You have a clear intent, review message to swap tokens. It's plain English. You can see the amount, you can see the tokens. So you're sending 1,000 wrapped Matic, and you're going to get 554 USDT. And you see the address of the receiver. And so as a user, I understand what I'm signing. I can double check, and then either sign or reject if I agree or disagree with the transaction. So that's what clear signing is. To make this thing a reality, there's two things that I need. On the DApp builders, the ones building the smart contract, they need to provide the metadata as to how to display their interactions. And for wallet builders or any software interacting with devices, they need to parse this information and display it to the user. Actually, quick quiz, who's building a smart contract in the room? We've got a few. And who's building a wallet interacting with Ledger devices? A few as well. Okay, cool. So that's what we need for you guys. So on the DApp side, what we did is we built a JSON. We essentially built an ERC, the ERC 7730 with the Ethereum Foundation. It's all documented, it's open source, and really the idea is to provide metadata as to how do we interact with your smart contract. You submit your JSON, and then it's about sending the JSON to the devices. To send the JSON to the devices and this metadata to the devices, we built a software development kit named the Ledger Device Management Kit, which facilitates the communication with the devices. So if you're building software and you want to support Ledger devices and you want to enable clear signing, using this kit makes it super easy to send the metadata for the device to then be able to show it. And so how it works in the flow, and I just want to show you how simple it is to do so with the Aave example. So to build, first you need to build your schema and your metadata. So we created a tool which we call the ERC 7730 JSON Builder. This is available online on the at getclearsign.ledger.com. You can go there, you input your address of your smart contract, as you can see on the screen, and then you can start filling up metadata where you can say the name of the contract, who it belongs to, and then as you go deeper, you can start crafting the metadata for each and every of your operation into your smart contract. And so what I mean by this is instead of having method names or a big blurb of hexadecimal, the wallet will be then able to actually parse the transaction and show display fields. We'll know how to display amounts, dates, timestamps, all those kind of things, so that as a user, I can read and I'm in control, and good UX is good security. And then once you go through the steps on the ERC 7730 builder at getclearsign.ledger.com, you got this big JSON, and then we have this open registry, which is a public repository available for everyone. Any wallet out there can then use this metadata to get ClearSign, provided that the software uses the device management kit with our devices. And that's it. Once you have the metadata, you can then create the experience as you're seeing on the screen right there, which is instead of having this big hexadecimal, you can see that you're interacting with Aave. This transaction is to borrow tokens. You can see the amount of ETH that you're borrowing with the interest rate. And then as a user, I can accept or reject this transaction. So that's the first part. And that's what clear signing is getting rid of all those big hexadecimals and replacing this with intelligible, understandable information. Where we at is we're building this for Ethereum at the minute, and we got to the step that you just seen. All this is in production already, and so I'm really calling out all DApp builders and wallet builders in the space to adopt the standard so that as users, we no longer see those blobs of data, but instead we can actually read and be in control of what's happening, and we can make things like the Bybit hack a thing of the past. And what we're doing right now is we're improving. We have this tons of interactions, tons of things, tons of assets that we need to clear sign, and we obviously need to clear sign them all. So we're going to be working into supporting more advanced smart contracts with the proxy pattern and embedded call data. And then obviously we're talking with different foundations to bring that to other chains other than just Ethereum. We started with Ethereum because that's where there's the most DeFi and the most developer activity, but we need to get going with this. And that's only the first step. That was the first step, understanding what we were doing. But then the next step is what we call transaction check. So transaction check is the ability to simulate what's going to happen with a transaction before it happens. So as a user, when you're about to sign this transaction, we're going to actually play this on a backend server, which we're going to simulate, and then do a threat analysis and display this threat analysis. And we're going to do this on the device, not on your phone, not on your laptop, because that's how Bybit got hacked, actually. Their UI got compromised. And why they did, because they had a simulation feature. They did it well. But the problem is that what they did is that they compromised their UI, and they were able to change the transaction after the simulation so that they actually got hacked. So that's what we're saying. The only secure display is on the hardware wallet because it's off the internet, it's driven by the secure element, and that makes it malware resistant. So it really creates a real safety net where as a user, I can actually double check what I'm seeing on the screen. Is that really what I want to do? Is there no threat? Cool, I can proceed. So how it works, what we're doing is that after the transaction is crafted, so we send it to one of the providers. We partner with Blockade, Tenderly, and Cybers to do those that are going to be doing the simulation, conduct this risk analysis. They're going to sign the report, and we're going to send that signed report, cryptographically protected report, onto the device so that the device is then going to check that it wasn't tampered and is going to display the results of the analysis. If there's a threat detected, it will be shown to you. You'll have access to the report. And so now you can then safely proceed either to reject because there was a threat detected, or if no threat and is verified, then you can proceed safely. This feature has been on the market for 2 months now, and we've already prevented $20 million in losses. So it's really doing its job, and it's protecting our users whilst they're interacting with smart contract, and it's really security at use, the next step that we're doing. And that represents over, almost 2,000 malicious transactions that actually got flagged, detected, and which we've been able to fend our users from. So it is working. That's great. So for all builders out there, we talked about the importance of clear signing, the importance of transaction check. All these technologies are available for you. And you have all the information on the developer portal, on our blogs. You also have the repo where you can actually share your metadata. And it's all here to be used so that we together can actually secure users and secure the Web3 ecosystem. But I didn't want to stop here. So we talked about security at use and how to protect users from a malicious smart contract that could cause them to lose their crypto. But often, another way that you can also use your crypto as a user is by losing your keys, by losing your wallet, using your recovery key. And so there's really a big challenge for us in the self-custodial ecosystem as to how do we maintain the ease of use and how do we solve for this problem. And I got news for you guys. We've just announced a couple of days ago that we're a brand new set of technology, a brand new product that's coming to market very soon, which is the Ledger Recovery Key. The Ledger Recovery Key is a card that you have. It's not a wallet, and it uses the same technology that our hardware wallet uses. It has a secure element inside, and that allows you to back up and restore your keys onto this card. So for Flex and Stacks users, what they can do is they can tap and then restore their keys onto their device should they want to. There are already two ways that you could back up your keys. We have the good old recovery sheet where you could actually write your 24 words. Fully analog, fully self-custodial. It works great from that perspective, but a bit cumbersome when you want to restore because you need to go and get your 24 words that are in a vault or that are stored safely. On the other hand of the spectrum, we had Ledger Recover, fully digital. It's subscription-based, and it uses your identity to restore your key through Ledger Live. And so you can do that anywhere in the world, and that's fully digital. And so now we have a brand new alternative, which is fully optional, and that's the Ledger Recovery Key, which is the best of both worlds, because just like the recovery sheet is fully self-custodial, no subscription, no KYC, but at the same time, it's fully digital. So it's just a tap, you type in your PIN, and then you can restore your device and have access to your crypto assets, making sure that you haven't lost them. How it works? Same technology as our hardware wallets, secure element inside. It's PIN protected. So it's just like your hardware wallet. If you type 3 pins, it's going to wipe out. Same with a recovery key. 3 pins is going to wipe out. So the security bar is exactly the same, no changes from that perspective. The communication in between the two is via NFC. So you simply tap, enter your PIN, and then you can then restore your private keys onto your hardware wallet. This will hit the stores within the summer, so we'll get back to you as soon as the product is launched. But it's really exciting because now there's a new alternative to protecting your keys out there. And this is it for me. If you have any questions, I'll be at the Ledger booth. I'd be super happy to do you a demo of how to back up and restore with the Ledger key. We can also talk about how to secure your smart contract, how to provide an ad-clear signing to your wallet, and all the different features that we talked about, and how to make sure that users don't lose their crypto. Thank you very much, and have a great day.